I just can't get away from a good time.
It sets up deep in the pocket. Goes down the field for Smith. Oh, he got it!
This ball is drilled to center field. Pilar at the wall. Gets there and hangs on.
Top shelf where mama hides the cookies.
This infield is a great wall of China. Nothing's getting past us. Good D behind you, Bry. Good D all around.
Get the garbage out of here.
He runs to the 50. He runs to the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's not always whether you win or lose. It's whether you're winning or losing.
I guess that's what I'm saying, Brooksy. You get that through your head?
Welcome to another edition of Sports Chatter with Bax and Patter. We're back. I'm your host, Brandon Bax.
And I'm Patrick Reed. It is Wednesday, March 8th, 2017. Exciting show today lined up, getting into a little bit of March Madness.
Yeah, it's March, and we're going to get into some Selection Sunday previews. We're going to preview some of the biggest teams in the Madness this year. We're also going to go into the NBA and take a look at a few NBA teams, including the Raptors, and some injury issues there. We're going to get some NHL news and notes from around the league. A lot of smaller news coming in from the NHL this week.
Then we'll head over to baseball, spring training for the Jays, and a bit of Grapefruit League action, and also hot World Championship of Baseball talk. Yeah,
it's starting up. Canada getting into it, and the NFL. We're going to recap everybody's favorite division, the NFC East. We're gonna talk some football, and we are also going to get into some free agency talk. Free agency starts tomorrow for the NFL, so we're going to get into all that and much more. Stick around. Sports Chatter is next.
Don't travel, don't double dribble. I want a good clean game and no back talk.
I figured since I'm going to be like Mike, I might as well dress like Mike, you know.
Lowry, half-court heave, a prayer at the buzzer. Oh!
Hey, stop hogging it, Mike. We're your teammates.
How do you intend to match up to the Squire's strong inside game?
It's a great question. Tomorrow, after the game, Jackie Moon, will wrestle a bear.
Well, Bax, why don't we start right off with the madness there. NCAA tournament is coming up here in the next few weeks. Always a good time. We don't get to watch as much as we'd like, but we do get quite into it. Why don't we start with some of the bigger name schools? Villanova. They're the defending champs. They got a 27-3 record. They are playing what are basically home games for the first two games in Madison Square Garden. It's only two hours away from their home campus there. They've got two seniors returning, Chris Jenkins and Josh Hart, which are going to be big for them coming out here to try and go for their second championship in a row.
Well, you got to think that the returning players and the experience that Villanova has in this tournament almost every year, they're right there in the Final Four, or at least in some of the top teams. You got to think that they're one of the favorites, heavy favorites, going into the tournament this year. We don't know exactly the seedings of these teams just yet. Selection Sunday is, of course, this Sunday, and we're going to fill out a bracket and tweet it out for you guys. But and we'll kind of follow it along as the tournament progresses. But Villanova is definitely going to be one of the top seeds, I'm guessing.
Yeah, absolutely. Kansas, they've got Frank Mason III and Josh Jackson. They could go top three in the draft this year, the 2017 NBA draft. They will also have kind of home games playing in Tulsa. It's only 4 hours away from their campus, and their team always travels well, the Jayhawks there. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've had a great record, and they play in the toughest conference.
Yeah.
They've
only lost 2 or 3 games this year, too, I believe.
Yeah, so it's been very, very minimal. I mean, they have a high-power offense, which is always good.
Definitely a team that you would have advanced into the Final Four again this year, most likely. Well, we're gonna look into some other teams here. North Carolina, a very top team almost every year in this tournament as well. They've got a few returning players as well, Jackson and Joel Berry. And they've got a whole lot of experience off the bench there, and it looks like the Tar Heels are going to be right in it with Kansas there.
Yeah, they've got a great offense there as well. They are coming off an ugly loss to Virginia, but you got to think they're going to want to avenge that. They were runners-up to Villanova last year, so you got to think they're going to want to make a run at it here and at least get to the Final Four as well. Mm-hmm.
We're going to look at some other teams now. Duke, another top team. That the record this year, I don't think shows that they're going to be a top 4 team, but they're going to be definitely close. I think.
Yeah, they've struggled lately in the season there. Luke Kennard, he's averaging 20 points a game, which for college basketball is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Grayson Allen also returning there. They've got 5 players that average 10 points a game.
Yeah, they really spread their scoring around, it seems. When you look at like the standings, you look at like some of the point totals for some of these teams, you go top 4, you got some of these teams have 2 or 3 losses, and they have maybe 1,000 or 2,000 more points than the teams like Duke and UCLA, but they're still right there, and they're still going to be battling them for the Final Four.
Absolutely. Gonzaga, 29-1. They lost to BYU. They have one of the most efficient offenses in the NCAA. Nigel Williams just killing it there. From the field, he shoots 51% from the field. And they've got big men to protect the rim there. And they're just a really strong team, as the record shows, and going to be right there as well this year.
Mm-hmm. We're looking at Baylor here as well, one of the top teams. They've got a great defense. They've got, what is that, turnovers? They only allow...
No. They've actually, they commit 30 turnovers a game. Which
they commit 30?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which for a defensive team is very surprising, and that's kind of one of their little weaknesses there. Good rim protection, though, with Jonathan Motley. He's a great rim protector, and he's also a double-double machine, assists and points there. Manu Lecon is also a great rim protector as well. They slow down the game. They've got an elite defense, which is surprising if you look at the turnover rate. But, somehow they're getting it done. I wouldn't look for them to go too far.
But
especially,
they say defense wins championships.
With that turnover rate going up against some of these elite
offenses, they might kind of crush them.
Yeah, for sure. UCLA, apparently Lonzo Ball should be in the NBA right now. His dad said he should replace Steph Curry, and
I thought I heard that. Yeah,
they'd be about the same. I don't know about that, considering he's not even the leading point scorer on his team, but he is a point guard.
That shows confidence from the father.
I guess so. Bryce Alford, he leads the team in points with 16.5 points per game, and TJ Leaf has about the same as well. They spread that offense around. I don't know if I see them going very far either. Mm-hmm. Maybe Sweet 16, that kind of thing.
I mean, we'll have to see where they kind of end up in the bracket and where they end up.
Defense is a struggle for them. Yeah. They've got a great offense, though. Let's move on to some Canadian content. Oregon.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks and Chris Booker. And as well Ennis. So there's 3 there. Great defense team. They've got a good balance. Dylan Brooks has that clutch factor that you look for in big games like this, and the team itself has a championship feel. It's well balanced, good offense, good defense, and this is one I'm going to watch due to that Canadian content.
And there always seems to be some Canadian content on these Oregon Ducks teams.
And those unis.
Yeah, the unis. Gotta love the unis, football, basketball, whatever sport. Oregon's got it, so we're gonna have to watch Oregon to be sure.
For sure. We'll move on to Kentucky. They've got a trio of good young guys. Monk, Fox, and Briscoe. They attack the rim from everywhere. They shoot everything. And by all means, they got a great defensive player in freshman, Adebayo. And they look to go far in this one here. They're always right there in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Arizona is one of the top teams as well this year. They really slow the game down, but they kind of have a predictable offense, but they still kind of get the job done. It seems. Yeah,
absolutely. They are largely a young team made up of freshmen there, which in a tournament like this could be detrimental because you do like to have that experience. A couple notable freshmen there, Lauri Markkanen and Kobe Simmons, looking to lead the team. But again, a young team like this, if they can hold on to a few of those freshmen, and at least, I mean, it's like anything, that playoff quote unquote experience really going to help them next year if those guys stick around.
And finally, for us, one of everybody's favorite team, it seems, the Florida Gators. They're going to make another run this year.
Yeah, defense. That's what they're all about. They're aggressive, they pester, and they have 3 guys that average at least 1 steal a game in their speedsters, Allen, Hill, and Robinson, as well as Chirizo there. And they're going to press you. They're going to be all over you. And, I mean, if they end up running up against UCLA, somewhere down the line, that could pose problems as well. They shoot a lot, though. They get the outside jumper, that kind of thing. But again, Florida, with that defense, they do have potential to go far. It's whether the offense can kind of carry them through. And that's what we have for the breakdown for the top teams.
So these are just some of the top teams. These are the teams people are going to have going pretty far into their brackets, most likely. But we want the Cinderellas.
Yeah,
we want the
absolutely.
teams. We want the upsets. So we got a few here for you. That might give you some points in your bracket this year. And Butler is definitely number one.
Yeah, they're ranked 11th overall, 23-6 overall record. But the thing about them is they beat Villanueva twice this year.
So that could come in handy for them down the stretch.
Yeah,
I mean if they even match up with them.
Exactly, the record is fairly decent. I mean, 23-6, right? And that experience of beating Villanueva, you got to think that gives a boost to the team. Wouldn't mind seeing them play a little more.
Butler Bulldogs.
Yeah, absolutely. Ivory Coast. Yeah, a few years ago, I know they made quite the run there, and people fell in love with the campus. Apparently, enrollment has boomed. You can surf right on campus.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So if they make it through, hopefully they can kind of make another Cinderella run here. And then
Syracuse, close to home here. Everybody kind of loves to cheer for the Orange.
Well, who doesn't love Melo?
Exactly. 18-13 overall record so far this year. They poised to be maybe an upset waiting to happen for some teams.
Yeah. I mean, if they make it through, they have to play Minnesota to get in. They have to play Miami to get through in the ACC tournament. I think that game actually goes tonight, so we should know pretty soon whether or not they're going to go through. But always one of those teams that always seems to stick around and make some noise in this tournament.
And you got to think they're going to win tonight. You got to think. I mean, they're almost in this tournament every year, so you got to see them going through for sure.
Well, I mean, even Detroit Red Wings. Their playoffs,
playoff drought. Not the playoff drought, the playoffs, the drought
record,
of not making the playoffs. Yeah. So that's kind of our NCAA March Madness preview. Again, like we said, Selection Sunday is coming up this Sunday. We're gonna tweet out a bracket as soon as that happens. And
when we figure out who's in, we'll throw out a bracket there, and you can.
And we'll be sure to talk about it over the coming weeks to see who's winning, who's losing, who maybe one of these teams to watch are going to be on a Cinderella run here. We don't know. We'll see.
We'll let you know.
Anything else NBA-wise now? I guess we're going to go talk some pro basketball for a bit here.
Yeah, you got to go with the big one, the big German, Dirk Nowitzki, 30,000 points.
He's one of the guys that I look at in the NBA and athletes in general. It's just like he's all-around, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
You don't hear any bad news about Dirk.
No, absolutely not. A friendly giant by all accounts. He looks like one of those guys that shouldn't be good, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know exactly
like an
what you
awkward, gangly guy who doesn't look like he should be able to do anything, but guy's an unbelievable player. And I mean, the years he's played in the NBA, he's played on some good teams. He's played on some really bad teams, though, there in the Mavericks. And, I mean, he just keeps plugging away there. Exactly. Mark Cuban loves him.
Yep. Dallas loves him. Texas loves him. I think they love him more than maybe even a Tim Duncan in San Antonio. He's been kind of surrounded by the same core all-star group of players. Nowitzki has had to kind of work through some different
other than
having
having
Jason Kidd forever.
Absolutely. But, he really didn't have a whole lot around him.
Exactly. And he's still got a ring, and he's still very consistently in the playoffs, and all accounts he wants to play another year. So, I mean, he's going to play until he's done being good. I think he's not going to ride out the remaining years of his career on the bench. I think he's going to be good right up to the end of his career.
Yeah, until he calls it quits, and then who knows, maybe coaching in his future.
Yeah, for sure. I could see him doing it for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely GOAT caliber.
Definitely. Maybe he's a GOAT one day. The Toronto Raptors are also in action tonight against the New Orleans Pelicans, having some injury issues still. DeMarre Carroll is not going to play tonight. He should be back later this week, though, hopefully with his sprained ankle.
Yeah, and DeLon Wright's going to be a game-time decision with his wrist. He couldn't shoot the way he wanted to in the last game there.
Maybe he's blocking too many shots.
Yeah, I guess so. Which, I mean, already thin at, well, I guess they're not thin at the point guard position, but they need some more talent there, I would suppose. Fred VanVleet is not your number one go-to for a backup point guard.
Yeah, but I mean, DeMar can just bring the ball up for him, too. All it is bringing it over the timeline. DeMar's done it plenty of times. I think they'll be okay at point guard.
Well, as long as he doesn't travel.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, the Raptors, since we've been on the air last,
right.
He's had they've had a win and they've had a loss, a big win against the Wizards. They split the series against them, which is what we kind of wanted them to do. They went into Milwaukee.
I wanted them to win both.
Well, I wanted them to win both too, but we got to look at maybe the amount of games they're playing that week. Last week was, I think, 5 and 7 days. Something like that.
You're pro athletes.
Yeah, and then they really ran out of gas against Milwaukee and kind of a bad game on Saturday night there.
That was an odd one. Yeah. I mean, Milwaukee, other than the Greek Freak, they don't have too much there.
A sneaky good team. They kind of, I mean, they came up and they got 41 points on them in the second quarter. So
yeah, I mean, don't like to see that too much. 41 points in the quarter there. You got to be shut down deep. I mean. That's why we brought in Serge Ibaka and Tucker there.
And we were just looking at Ibaka's stats for the first 6 games here, averaging almost 20 points a game,
That's
almost 10 boards a game, and a couple blocks. And his 3-ball percentage is close to 50%. So I mean, that's exactly what they need. And they've got PJ Tucker starting for Carroll tonight. They've had a few days off to rest. Rest can no longer be an issue for them. At least for this week anyways. You know, they got New Orleans tonight, so hopefully they can get back in the win column.
And New Orleans is not, by all accounts, not a great team. Even since trading for Boogie Cousins, they've kind of hit the skids here, so hopefully we can, or they can take advantage there and see about pulling out a W.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try and keep pace with the Wizards here. That third spot is really,
not to mention the Celtics,
is really crucial. Yeah, I mean, we're not even sure if they can catch the Celtics this year. I mean, they're a few games back yet. I think they're, how many games back there? 2.5 games back of the Celtics. So that seems still doable, but we've played more games than them, I believe. And same with Washington.
Yeah, and without Kyle Lowry, you got to think. I mean, some guys have to really step up here.
Yep. So if they don't get a whole
bunch
of,
I'm looking at you.
A whole bunch of well, he's played unbelievable the last few games too. He's been scoring. He's been scoring and scoring and scoring, Patrick.
Where's the D?
Where's the D, though? Anything else NBA-wise we got to talk about this week?
That's all. Until we get to the injury report, that's all I got.
All right. Well, we're going to get into some National Hockey League news and notes from around the league on the other side of this break.
Listen up. We're still in this thing. We just need a quick one. Listen up, Cash! We got to work harder than them, okay?
What is icing?
Well, icing happened when the puck come down, bang, before the other guys.
Doesn't count unless you go Bardowski.
You gotta go Bardowski, Schmelter.
It's knuckle puck time.
Holy Mackinac, Joe Bowen, 3,000th career game, calling it for the Maple Leafs. Love this beauty.
Absolutely unbelievable. He is the de facto voice of the Leafs that everybody knows and loves. I mean, I grew up listening to him. Him and Bob Cole were definitely the broadcasters that I always
remember distinctly listening to him on the radio. It was a playoff game against New Jersey many years ago, and I just remember his call. Ian Cole was on the team at the time.
Wasn't that the game they won 6-1 or something?
I don't know.
They ended up winning a whole bunch.
I was young, but he is iconic. You can't hear this guy without knowing, hey, that's Joe Bowen.
Yeah, he has some memorable calls over the years.
And he's still happening.
Oh, he absolutely.
His calls of Matthews' goals, I bet he's loving this right now. He is a diehard Leafs fan.
That's exactly
you
why.
You can tell he bleeds blue.
It's exactly why Matthews and his parents both emailed him. Emailed him congratulations on the 3,000th game a couple days ago. Yeah, and a few players sent him an email. So.
And it's nice that he went out and won there.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they went out and won for
Exactly, yeah. And I hope that he can continue on to call these games as this team is building up to another Stanley Cup run, maybe.
Yeah, he came out and said, it doesn't matter about game number 3,000. I'm worried about game 3019, and hopefully they're in the playoffs by then.
Exactly, though. That's just the professionalism you see from Joe Bowen. So congrats to him. We'll have more on him later in the GOAT segment, I believe.
Ooh.
A little preview there.
Foreshadow. Also, last night, Marchenko getting his first goal as a Leaf.
And I'm calling it already better than Frankie Corrado. He scored a goal, and he scored a goal against his former team, and I think his only fourth or fifth game in the lineup.
Well,
not very many games.
Babcock will like that.
And he loves it.
You know, he loves beating the Detroit Red Wings there.
Yeah. And
that's a game they have to have, though. That's a game they have to win.
Their veterans stepped up. JVR got a goal. I mean, they didn't blow the lead.
First time in 14 games.
They almost blew the lead, but they didn't blow the lead. I mean, they've been blowing leads left, right, and center this year. But I mean, they're back into the second wild card spot now, I believe, as of right now. So they got to get these points, especially against teams below them.
Well, absolutely, and it is heating up. I mean, the Islanders won again last night, and that's a team that they're chasing. But yeah, these next 4 games are crucial against teams that are below them in the standings. They have to have those points if they want to be a playoff team there.
Speaking of the Islanders there, we got some Josh Ho-Sang news.
Ooh, hot Josh Ho-Sang talk, eh? He scored his first goal last night, too.
Was he wearing number 66?
From the point. He was wearing number 66.
That's interesting.
How do you feel about that?
You know what? I mean, it's not the same team. It's not the same team as Pittsburgh, and the number is not retired around the league like Gretzky's. It's not like nobody can wear number 66 or number 55 or whatever for,
Number 4.
Yeah.
Bobby Orr.
Yeah. Like
number
it's just,
9. Gordie Howe.
It's not like
Taylor Hall's worn both.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you must think he's has something great there.
Number 10 for Patrick Reed.
Yeah. But
I don't know. But Mario, I get it. Mario's a bit of a different player though, as there's not like a lot of people have worn number 4. A lot of people have worn number 9. A lot of people have worn number 10. Not that many people have worn 66.
No, not many, and probably just because he's close to Gretzky level, which is fine. Like I know you respect the guy, but like it's not
retired.
It's not retired.
I just think the kid himself. If it had been another player, maybe a little different. But Ho-Sang has worn it since, by all accounts, since he was young. He loves Mario Lemieux apparently, so I get that, but. The kid's already been labeled as a troublemaker.
Yeah, he was sleeping through alarms.
Like, he could have been on the team, what was it, last year or 2 years ago, and he slept right through the alarm. It didn't make it to his first day of training camp until later, so they sent him back to junior. You've already been labeled as a troublemaker. Why make it worse for yourself?
Yeah, I agree.
6.
I agree with that point. And yeah, you could wear number 6 for sure.
Or 69.
Yeah. But I just think he's not. I mean, it's not disrespectful at all.
No,
I mean, on all accounts, he is a fan of Mario. So it's not like he's going out and saying, "Yeah, I'm Mario Lemieux. Congrats, you got your first goal in the league, kid." But I mean, like, I just don't think there's any problem with it.
The only thing I had a problem with was he said that if Mario called him, he'd consider changing his number.
Oh, if Mario called me, I would have already have it ripped off my jersey.
Exactly. If Mario calls you, you don't say, "Oh, I'll consider it." You say, "Yes,
yes, sir. Thank you very much."
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So Josh Ho-Sang getting his first goal last night in a win against the Edmonton Oilers. There, actually, Connor McDavid. They actually played together on the Toronto Marbles.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder, were they on the same line?
I'm not sure, but the reporter, I can't remember who it was, asked him about Ho-Sang wearing number 66, and McDavid was not having any of that.
Yeah, he didn't want to say anything about that.
Yeah, did not comment on that.
So also coming from a guy who's wearing number 97, that's pretty darn close to number 99.
Well, 97 with his birth year.
Oh, well, that just makes sense then, I guess. Yeah. Okay. I take that back, McDavid. You're a great player.
He is a great player. Not such a great player. Gary Bettman.
Oh, yeah. No, who likes Gary Bettman?
Jerry. He's not quite giving up on the Arizona Coyotes yet, but he's getting there. He said they're not going to work in Glendale.
Yeah.
They need a new arena, even though they already owe millions and millions of dollars on the one they already have.
And now they're going to move back?
He wants to move it closer to Scottsdale.
How many arenas are in Arizona? That's what I want to know. Like, how many NHL arenas are in Arizona?
I'd say just the one.
There's just the one.
The one that they're in?
And then,
but the Phoenix Suns don't want to share a rink with them either.
Oh, well, that's just weird. Why
not? The owner of the Phoenix Suns just doesn't want to.
Doesn't want to have hockey, basketball at the same time.
But don't get too excited, Montreal or Quebec City, I guess, because you know it's not coming there.
No, the point. The thing that
he will exhaust every American city until there's none left, and then he'll come to Canada as his backfall, just like he did with Atlanta to Winnipeg. There, it's going to go to Seattle or Kansas City.
Well, there's too many Eastern Conference teams, and they don't want to move Columbus or Detroit back into the West. They just won't do it. So basically, they had to expand into Vegas instead of relocating. And if they relocate west to east, then the balance is off by 3. Then I think so. They really can't do that. And Quebec deserves it more than Seattle, more than Kansas, more than Vegas. But I just don't think. I mean, they're going to do everything in their power to keep that team in Phoenix.
Oh, they've been in debt and in turmoil for close to 20 years now.
So do you think that Kansas or Seattle is a better option than Phoenix? Or Arizona in general?
No.
So I mean, why not just stick it out there? Just stick it out in Arizona. Then you don't even have to move them.
Well, actually, you know what? Seattle might be
because they're further north. But.
Well, they are further north. You get the Vancouver or whatever, the BC people that come down.
Yeah.
The Winterhawks, by all counts, are well attended. I mean, I know it's an AHL team, but it's a.
Western Hockey League?
Yes, Western Hockey League team. But, I mean, you saw in Winnipeg, it's working out pretty well there.
Yeah.
So that's the only place that I could kind of think of that might be a good fit. But eventually I think it's coming to Quebec City or I mean, if you want to stay west, go to Saskatchewan.
Yeah, and Regina, I mean, in there, like,
That's in Saskatchewan.
It can't be any worse, obviously.
No.
They might not get as many people, but it can't be any worse.
You probably won't lose money out there.
No, I don't think so, because it's Canada and hockey, and everybody loves hockey in Canada. But also the debate of two Toronto teams.
Everybody loves hockey.
The debate of 2 Toronto teams has come up again, so we'll
could sustain it.
Yeah, it could sustain it. I just don't want to see it.
There are more people in Toronto than there are in Glendale, Arizona.
Saskatchewan.
Well, in Saskatchewan too.
Other Gary Bettman news, he's been talking about the Olympics, and he doesn't think that the NHL is going to be going. They got to prepare for that, so that's going to be interesting. We kind of knew that was going to happen, but what kind of hockey?
Stupid.
What kind of hockey do we expect to see at the Olympics then?
Not very good hockey. I probably won't watch it.
Yeah, I'm
lying. I don't know. I won't watch it.
Justin Pogge might be the goalie for that team.
Oh,
that would be
It'll probably
interesting.
be a Spangler Cup team.
Well, that's
true. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Those guys from the European League, so call them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still watch. Canada will probably still do well.
Yeah, I think so.
But it might just be a little bit more competitive.
It might be.
Which could be more intriguing
and
for
maybe
the
players
for the
looking
Olympics.
to get back into the pros.
Ooh.
Try to get a good showing in a tournament, especially for
Ilya
a gold medal.
Kovalchuk?
Yeah, I could see it. And even more.
Danny Heatley.
Danny Heatley watch? I don't see that.
No?
I don't think so. Even more Gary Bettman news. He's been talking about demolishing the extra point.
Oh,
the point for losing a game. In the
Actually,
NHL.
that's Lou that wants to have.
Well,
that.
but I think Bettman was kind of talking about it as well too.
He posted out. It was a GM meetings in Boca Raton this week, and that did come up. I agree with that. I'd rather go back to the win-loss tie.
Yeah, you don't even have to have a tie. You just
I
don't
like
get a
the
point
tie.
for losing.
I like the tie.
Just if you lose, you're a loser, and you get 0 points. If you win,
that's what every other league does.
But make it an incentive to win in regulation.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because you should be able to get more points for winning in the allotted time that you're given. So maybe 3 points for regulation and 2 points for overtime, and then 0 for losing. Why not that?
I don't mind that.
I think that we just made up their mind for them.
Just call me up, Gary.
Yeah.
Let's get it going.
Give us a paycheck.
The only other thing I want to mention about the GM meetings was, did you see Mark Bergevin?
No, I didn't. What did he
say?
He
left the meeting. No, he didn't say anything.
Oh.
He didn't want to say anything. He left the meeting the one day for lunch. He picked up a potted plant, it looked like a palm tree, and he walked by the media holding it in front of his face.
Oh, the palm tree, and he hid behind it.
That's a veteran move right
classic.
there.
He didn't want anybody in the media to see him with a camera, or even though he was spotted through the palm tree.
Sorry, speaking of Bergevin, PK Subban, his return to Montreal, liked that.
I liked it too, and he visited his hospital
his eyes
again.
Out. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the people in Montreal still love him, and I don't think.
How could you not?
I don't think they hated him for the trade. They just hated the way it all came about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they hate Shea Weber either, but I mean, a talent like that and a guy like that who was a pillar of the community. I mean, you saw him blowing kisses to Beliveau's wife there, and I mean, you feel bad for the guy, and you could see the emotion. I mean, he was crying throughout the anthem. And you know he had his heart and soul in that city, just like I'm sure he does in Nashville as well.
And could you imagine a long shot, but Nashville, Montreal for the Cup?
Ooh,
that would be a real long shot. But I mean, I mean that would be very interesting.
Yeah, Montreal on a 6-game winning streak. Look like Carey Price has found himself.
Yep.
I guess a little fire under his butt.
Yeah, I think they're finally trying to give Carey also some goals. To be able to play a little more confidently in that net, and hopefully they can challenge Washington or New York or any of those other Atlantic teams, or Central teams that are just absolutely dominating
the Metropolitan.
The Metropolitan. Geez, I can't remember the names of the divisions anymore.
I know, eh?
There's Montreal could be the only team from that division that could really challenge for the East. So
I don't think so. I think it'll be Pittsburgh and Washington in the conference finals again.
Yeah, I could see that too. Well, we're going to take a look at some MLB news now, some Blue Jays spring training and injury news and notes from around the league. So stay tuned.
Hitting is not about muscle. It's simple physics.
Do you drug test the players?
No. On into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside.
You stink, Strawberry! We want home run homer! Daryl. Hey, Yankees! You can take your apology out of your trophy and shove it straight up your ass!
Well, let's talk leadoff. Who do you think is going to be leading off for the Jays this year? Because we know it's not Devin Travis.
Well, I was just about to say, from May 1st on, Devin Travis. But from April 1st until whenever Devin Travis gets healthy, I mean, it's a crapshoot. You can see Jose up there some nights. You can see Pilar up there some nights. Carrera could be up there some nights. Gibby really loves Carrera's hitting, especially at the top of the lineup. So it'll be interesting to see who they end up using. But, I mean, those three guys, I mean...
I don't see Joey Bats wanting to take that position again. He's after money this year. He's going to want his numbers. Pilar has been spotty. I mean, he started in spring training, but a lot of that's just so he gets his at-bats in before they pull him in the third or fourth or fifth inning to give him some rest. Carrera, he goes streaky. Upton as well, streaky. The one that intrigues me is Pompey.
I don't even.
If he can make this team, he's looking good.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see his catch the other night against the Jays? He was looking like Kevin Pilar out there in center field.
He's probably trying to dive for every ball he can to make himself look like Kevin Pilar, so he can make the team.
If he can make the team, he's a speedster. He makes contact.
I like Pompey, great Canadian baseball player. I mean, he's playing for Canada at the World Baseball Classic there, but he's had his chances time and time again, and they rushed him as a prospect out of the gate.
Well, I think Dalton Pompey, he's looking good with the World Championship team, as we've said. He's looking good in the field. He's getting some at-bats. I don't know. There's not a much better option unless you go to free agency, and there's not a whole lot there. I mean, do you go with Brett Lowry?
Well, that's
just released from the Chicago White Sox there.
That's a whole other debate there, yeah.
Anthopoulos did good. Flipped him into Josh Donaldson.
He sure did, yeah. And then we could get him back for nothing. I think he's hurt right now, actually. So I heard a report that he wasn't even looking for a contract as of right now.
I heard he was. He's looking to get back into the league.
Interesting. Now,
looking to play, looking to get healthy. I mean, second baseman, third baseman, hybrid. He can play the field a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Travis is out.
I mean, I know we've talked about this a little bit in the past, and I don't see Pompey or Brett Lowry even making this team because you got to take two pieces away. So you would have Carrera or Upton not make the team.
Okay.
Upton's making too much money. He's not going to not make the team. He's got so much
talent.
talent.
Throw him on waivers. Nobody's going to pick him up. Then you send him to Buffalo.
Yeah, but I don't think he would not want to be a minor
league player. Who cares what he wants?
Yeah.
I mean, about the team.
Upton is a much better option than Pompey or.
He can't hit the ball.
He's got a lot of raw power. He's got speed. He's got defense.
His swing is still going around from last season. He has not followed through yet. This guy's swing is ridiculous.
So
he can't hit the ball. He swings at anything that comes near him. You don't think that
he's a strikeout? He's a strikeout machine.
It's boom or bust, like the rest of the team. You don't think Pompey or Brett Lowry can at least do the same, if not better?
Well, I don't think they would hit nearly as many home runs, but that's not the point.
Who cares about home runs? We got guys that hit home runs. Joey Bad, home run. Tulo, home runs. Donaldson, home runs.
Yeah.
Morales brought in for home runs.
Yeah.
Russell Martin, home runs.
We definitely don't need any more home runs, that's for sure.
Well, we can always use more home runs, but from the right guys. We need guys on base to get more runs in.
Yeah, and I think Upton, with his speed, I think he's a guy that has to be on this team, especially with the experience, and he's been around the league for quite some time now.
Another guy on Team Canada, sorry, you just jogged my memory there. Justin Morneau, still looking for a contract. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't think Toronto, because he only plays first base at this point.
DH.
Oh, well, that's Morales for 150 games this year. We're paying him $11 million a year to stand in that
salary cap.
Yeah. I know there's no.
Yeah, and he's a left bat as well.
I just don't see them having 2 DHs and then Steve Pierce and Justin Smoke, who also may be DHing sometime as well. That's basically 4 DHs for first base and the designated hitter spot.
Well, there you go.
That's not exactly using the bench. We only got 25 roster spots.
You never know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Platoon it.
I think these are all very intriguing moves that they could possibly make. But in the end, I think the 25-man roster is set with already what they got. And I think I would bet that not Brett Laurie or Pompey or Justin Morneau would be even on this team. Not any of those 3.
Spitting fire today, Baxi.
Spitting rumors. This is all the rumor mill here on Sports Chatter.
Stroman also looking good for Team US. He's going to be pitching for Team USA, so hopefully he can stay healthy.
He doesn't know if he's going to be starting or out of the bullpen or what, but I like Marcus Stroman so far.
Nobody really cares about it anyway, so I just hope he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd like to see a good showing for him as well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think US is in the division with Canada, so they might match up.
Yes, they are, along with Dominican Republic and, was it Colombia?
Yeah, I think
so. They're probably not going to do too well. Team Canada, that is.
But, well, Jose's on the Dominican too there, so I mean that's going to be interesting to see him play Canada. But I think the Team Canada was playing the Yankees today, and I think the Yankees beat them.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think the Yankees used all of their starters, and Team Canada looked like a team with Dalton Pompey and then everybody else. Justin Morneau. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Gagne, I don't...
His first start in 9 years.
He's, 48 years old or something like
I
that?
mean, he's been around the block 10 times, so...
Cy Young Award winner in 2003?
Yep. So that's baseball.
Oh, Tim Tebow.
Well, Tim Tebow,
struggling.
Still don't consider him a baseball player. But,
he made his Mets minor league debut there, spring training debut, and he did not do so well.
No, I don't even know what his numbers were, but I mean, if he even got a hit, I'm sure we would have heard about it.
They're not good.
No? What was his line? It was
zeros
across the board for Tim Tebow. He's
got
a lot of work to do.
That, but I mean, if he had done anything worthwhile, we would have heard about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pulling for the guy. I want to see it. I'd love to see him in a Jays uniform if he was...
Oh, my God. You just want to see everybody that is not on this team now in a Jays uniform for 2017.
Absolutely. Going for the rebuild.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
We're
going to go from Tim Tebow into his natural sport, the NFL. He can still throw the football. Maybe in the CFL.
Not very accurately.
We're going to talk some NFL. We're going to do some NFC East talk, and we're going to talk about some free agent rumors in the NFC East and maybe around the league. So stick around for that.
Bobby, water sucks.
It's my team. It's my quarterback.
Whoever said you had to be good to play football?
Will you teach me to football?
I'll teach you anything. Just don't eat me.
It was all that Dan Marino's fault. Everyone knows that.
Come on! Football!
Well, Bax, I will teach you to football. And we'll start with a couple notes just to clean up. Tyrod Taylor, we did talk about him with the Bills recap there. Sounds like he's going to stay with the Bills. They are restructuring his contract and salary there. It's free agency tomorrow, so there's lots of free agents going around, including Adrian Peterson, who we talked about last week as well.
Brian Hoyer was rumored to be taking Tyrod Taylor's job, but I guess he is not now. And whenever you hear a team restructuring a contract, that can't be good for the player.
No,
it just can't be. It can't be good for them at all.
At least they're getting paid something.
They're pushing their money. They're pushing their money back into retirement, is what they're doing, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, Tyrod Taylor, he's a great game manager. I guess
game manager.
He can, but I mean,
sounds like the guy I want behind center.
If his first look isn't open, he's I mean, like we said, he's taken off. He's getting sacked.
Yeah,
so I mean, I don't know what Buffalo's gonna do with that. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Brian Hoyer there, but again, not a number one starter that's going to get you a Super Bowl or anything.
No, another quarterback who has remained to be seen what he can do. It sounds like the Pats want 2 first-rounders for Jimmy G.
Mm-hmm. And that seems like a high price to pay for a guy who's only played a few games.
Yeah, but somebody's going to pay it.
Yeah, somebody probably will pay it.
I hope
and
it's not my Broncos.
It might end up being the Brock Osweiler syndrome.
Ooh.
Paying him a whole heck of a lot of money. And
I thought you meant going to the Texans.
Well, I mean, he could go to the Texans, too. The Texans may give up 2 first-rounders for him. I don't know.
I hope they do.
But that would be kind of funny. Let's get into the NFC East, and let's start with the reigning NFC East champions, a team who should have done better, but I'm glad they didn't, the Dallas Cowboys.
Spoken as a true Eagles fan.
Yep.
Speaking of releasing and quarterbacks, Romo.
Tony
Bye-bye
Romo.
Tomorrow.
He's about to get released, and people in Dallas...
I don't understand why they're telling us today that he's going to be released tomorrow.
Why not just do it today?
Or do it tomorrow.
Yeah, just don't say it. Don't say it until you do it.
I guess it is the whole legal tampering. Maybe they want to let him go talk to teams already, that kind of thing. Maybe that's how that
This
got
is
out.
still the period of teams talking to teams. Free agency does officially start tomorrow.
Yeah.
So all these moves they don't even count until tomorrow, I guess.
No.
And we can talk more about some official moves that we hear about on next week's show. But the Dallas Cowboys getting rid of Romo. They've got their quarterback right now anyways. And I think
Dak.
Yeah, Dak Prescott. He's going to be their guy for a long time. And I think Josh McCown's going to go there as a backup because he wanted to make sure Romo was gone before he signed up for that.
Yeah, that makes sense. But no, Dak looked good last year. Hopefully he doesn't hit a sophomore slump here in year 2. I mean, as much as you got to hate the Dallas Cowboys just for being the Cowboys, they look good. Ezekiel Elliott, that was a nice pickup by them. Great running back. If he can stay healthy, along with Des Bryant, if he can stay healthy too, I mean, I see no reason why they can't repeat as the NFC East champions.
I think they're the front runners to win that division again.
And that's from an Eagles fan.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they look very, very strong. I mean, they only lost 2 games last year.
Yeah,
and then to Green Bay in the playoffs they lost to as well. But
yeah, you picked them.
Yep, I did. But yeah, another team that
this one is interesting.
The New York Giants,
going to give them a run for their money.
Could really do that. They could squeak in. A lot of the teams in this division always seem to have a chance. Every year it's somebody different winning that division. But this year the Giants, they look to be signing Brandon Marshall and really giving Eli a lot more weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. Eli could use it too.
Yeah, he's getting old, but you know what? He looks like he's going to be another good fantasy option.
The only thing is with Brandon Marshall is the whole accountability and maturity level. You got to question with the team that's already has
Odell.
Exactly. Odell Beckham Jr. taking the wide receivers to Miami in a bye week before the playoffs, and Brandon Marshall's going to be all over that too.
Yeah, but you got to think that he will. I mean, maybe some of his veteran leadership should shine through on a guy like Odell, and other guys who might be going there. LeGarrette Blount's
maybe
Martellus Bennett
with Odell's new marriage to the kicking net, it might settle him down a little bit.
But yeah, like we were just kind of saying there, Blount and Martellus Bennett also possible suitors to go into New York. So I mean, if
they do need a running back.
Yeah, and those are both Super Bowl champions, multiple time champions. So I mean, that's experience. That Eli could maybe make another run and tie his brother for rings.
Yeah,
that would be interesting.
That would be interesting. No longer the favorite son.
No longer I don't know about that. The Washington Redskins.
We talked about them a couple weeks ago, giving Kirk Cousins the franchise tag again.
Yep.
Really didn't have much other choice.
No.
But to do it. What else are they gonna do?
Yeah,
and
really
who else wants to go to Washington?
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot of players there, but
They're
apparently Vernon Davis does.
Well, yeah, I guess. Re-signing there after a few years with the 49ers. 3 years, $15 million. Reasonable contract. He's a decent tight end. If he can stay on the field long enough, he should do well with Kirk Cousins there as well. They always seem to be one of those middling teams, though.
Yeah.
They're kind of there, and then they're not there, and week to week, you don't know.
They seem to flip-flop between third and fourth in that division a whole lot. So, you never really know what you're going to get from the Redskins, but they always end up performing very well against interdivisional rivals and in games against the Giants and the Cowboys and obviously the Eagles. Like, they're always very close. So you never know what you're going to get from Washington. But this year, I'm going to predict they're probably going to finish last this year. So, speaking of finishing last, the Eagles finished last this year.
Yeah, Carson Wentz, he looked good.
He looked really good. You know, this is the quarterback of the future for the Eagles, Carson Wentz. And
but is he the quarterback of now?
I think so too.
Yeah?
I think he's the quarterback of now as well. And I mean, it looks like they're going to give him some more weapons this year.
Yeah, it looks like they are after a boatload of wide receivers.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson could be coming back.
I mean, that's huge for one. But I don't know if that will actually happen
Wow.
because I don't know how much Philly likes him anymore. But I mean, there's a bunch of others that they're looking at as well. Kenny Britt, Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Cook, a whole lot of in a department where they didn't really have a lot of options this year at wide receiver.
Riley Cooper. Oh, he's a tight end.
No, he is a wide receiver. Yeah, but he
can he get along with teammates of a different race?
I don't know. I really don't know about Riley Cooper anymore. But yeah, they didn't have a whole lot of options, and through the air they did most of their damage on the ground. And Carson Wentz just throwing super accurate throws. So, and they had not a bad defense either. So I think they could push the Giants for that second spot in this division. So we'll see how close they'll be in 2017, 2018.
So 6-10?
8-8. This is a classic 8-8 season, I think. I think that's about all we got NFL wise. Again, free agency is tomorrow, so we will talk more free agency next week on the show if there's any big signings or news and notes. And we have another division to recap.
Ooh.
Or preview, I guess you should say, at the NFC North.
Yeah.
Under the North next week?
Sure.
We'll get into the NFC North as well, and maybe Adrian Peterson has moved on to a different North team as well by then. So we'll see. Coming up next, we're going to talk some injuries. We got a whole lot of them this week. So the injury report is coming up next.
Oh, look at that! Oh my goodness! They just dropped the stretcher. Oh my goodness!
I think I will.
And again, I have no idea what that is.
That's what you want to know?
Your manager said you were sick.
Yeah, I had a diarrhea.
Well, Bax, just like you suffering through a cold, we got some hurting units in the NBA. Most notably for the people we care about, Kyle Lowry on the Raptors, still dealing with that loose bodies, I guess, in his wrist. Well, I guess he got
his surgery.
He did have a surgery, but by all accounts, it's going well. But he's still in recovery. There, has not started practicing yet. The good thing about it being in his wrist is he can stay in game shape, doing sprints and that kind of thing. Right?
He can get on the bike. He can, he's on the sidelines every night, in his suit,
coaching,
trying to take Dwayne Casey's job.
Yeah.
But Kyle Lowry.
I don't know if as a teammate, I'm too happy about that.
About him coaching?
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Who
Why
are
not?
you to tell me who you are?
Well, I mean, he's got to stay. He's got to know where Tucker and Ibaka and these new players are going to be on the floor. So why not be right on the sidelines, watching? He's got a target set for when he wants to come back. He hasn't shared it with us, obviously, because he doesn't know if it's going to happen or not. But I would think it's probably 4 or 5 games before the playoffs.
Yeah, you would hope so. Get into game rhythm there and feel out the new players, PJ Tucker and Serge Ibaka. Damari Carroll did not practice again today. We did still out with an ankle injury. DeLon Wright, have not heard.
But by all accounts, it seems like he's going to play. I think I haven't seen anything on him not playing. So it looks like he's going to be
dealing with a bit of wrist surgery.
Yep.
Wrist
injury.
Yeah, wrist soreness is what I meant to say. Andrew Bogut, broken leg.
Didn't he just sign with the Cavs?
He did just sign with the Cavs.
And that was
he was traded. I wasn't sure.
He was supposed to be kind of a big deal in
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
He's Andrew Bogut. As big a deal as Andrew Bogut can be.
Yeah, but Cleveland really needed that big pillar in there with Thompson. I think so. I think they needed a little help. Either way, it's going to hurt them. It's good for the Raptors because right now it's looking like we're facing them in the second round.
Oof.
So,
yeah,
that's going to be tough by all accounts.
Yeah.
Devin Travis?
Sorry, some good news for the Cavs. J.R. Smith, he's cleared for practice.
Oh, good.
So,
okay.
Oh, good.
Well, that's good for him.
I guess.
Not good for us.
He's bringing in that 3-point shooting again for the Cavs if he can get his rhythm together.
If he can get a shirt on.
Yeah, if he can get a shirt on. David Price, he doesn't need Tommy John surgery. I know I texted you last week all excited saying that he was gonna be down for the season, but no, it looks like he's okay. And you don't wish ill will on people, but I mean, if it's gonna help your team, you're okay with it.
I think that the Red Sox will probably sit him for a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to be out until April.
Yeah, until April, maybe even longer. Maybe. I mean, people are saying they might even not start him until May.
Yeah.
Why would you if you're the Red Sox?
Well, if you don't have to, you got those 4 good starters anyways.
Exactly.
I mean, the 5th day is kind of a throwaway anyways.
Yeah.
Hockey-wise, some important ones for the Leafs. Luongo, who Florida is in the hunt for that wild card spot. Luongo is down with a lower body injury, so everybody's favorite backup goalie, James Reimer, shouldering the bulk of the load there. Yeah,
and groin injuries or lower body for goalies can never be a good sign, so you never really know how long they're going to be out.
No, exactly. And I mean, Luongo does have the age factor. I believe he's 37. I love Luongo. Bobby Lou. Strong one or whatever.
Yep.
Funny guy. And I mean, he got the raw end of the deal in Vancouver. It wasn't his fault. They wanted to pay him a boatload of money. He just signed the contract. Another injury that could help out the Leafs, although I don't think it's long term. Radulov is down for Montreal.
They seem to be turning the corner now anyways, so really...
He's going to be reevaluated tomorrow, so I should have some notes for next week. I mean, he'll probably be back sometime either early next week or the week after. That's lower body as well. I think that's all I've got for the injury.
There we go. We're going to get into everybody's favorite segment now, the Heatley Watch, and that's coming up after this.
Okay, it's time for the easiest part of any coach's job. The cuts.
Danny Healy, I'm in a slump, I'm an all-star, so.
Who was that?
That's right! Who do you think you are? I am! You tried your best, and you failed miserably. The lesson is, never try.
Now, who are you again?
Well, seeing how it is March, and it is madness time, we'll go with somebody in basketball, Adam Morrison. He was drafted 3rd overall in 2006 to Charlotte. I'm not sure if they were the Bobcats then or still the Hornets.
I think they were the Bobcats. Yeah.
He is now, and this is where we get into the March Madness end of things. He now works as a video coach for Gonzaga there, and I think the most interesting part of him is that he's got a bunker with food and supplies all stocked up for the apocalypse. So,
oh, God, I love people who are prepared for the apocalypse.
Absolutely. I know I'm headed down that way if the zombie apocalypse happens.
Yep. So he must be watching too much Walking Dead or any of those apocalypse shows. But, I mean...
Like you.
I mean, I love it. I love it. To be honest, when you said Adam Morrison this week, I was like, who? So that's exactly what we're looking at in the Heatley Watch here. Guys who are like, they're supposed to be these superstars, but then they're like, where the heck are they now? He's got to be only 28, 29 years old.
Yeah, it can't be. 2006, huh?
Yeah.
18? That's
29, 30.
Yeah.
Close to there. I mean, as a video coach, at least he's still involved in basketball, but I mean, he obviously didn't cut it.
Obviously did not cut it. And that is your Heatley Watch of the week.
And we're going to get into some goats right after this.
So what you're saying is, we're at this level, but we got to get to this level.
I told you all that I was the greatest of all time.
A cool dude, a good teammate, good attitude about things, probably get some chicks.
This is the GOAT segment, our kudos to a player, or in my case this week, a broadcaster for the week. We foreshadowed this earlier. Joe Bowen is my GOAT for this week, his 3,000th NHL game he just called for the Leafs against the Detroit Red Wings. Of course, the Leafs won 3-2.
How many points does he have?
How many points does he have? That's a good question. That would be, what the Leafs record would be in those 3,000 games. That would be a really interesting stat. We're going to come back with that stat maybe for you next week. I'll get Patrick on it.
Yeah.
Joe Bowen, congratulations again. Everybody loves him. And heart and soul of the broadcast team for the Leafs. So that's my GOAT.
That's your GOAT. I got a couple GOATs this week. I know I've thrown a curveball at you. Yeah. I got to go with my boy Bobrovsky.
Sergei Bobrovsky.
Best guy in the force.
And he hasn't let in a goal since Jay and Dan were...
no, he has not. I mean, he could be letting one in as we speak, but you never know. Yeah. I don't even know if they're playing tonight.
Yeah.
But 3 shutouts, and never had that before in his career. This guy, he's a bit of an oddball.
Yep. Well, most goalies are.
Well, exactly. The best goalies are. But no, he's a fantastic goalie. He took him a bit to get his footing together, but by all accounts, he's turned into a real nice tendy there in Columbus. And I mean, that whole Columbus team has been a real surprise to everybody this year, and it is good for that city. My second GOAT is another guy we talked about, Dirk
Nowitzki,
BFG.
30,000 points. Congratulations to Dirk
Yeah,
Nowitzki.
you got to give him the GOAT. Couple of beauties for you this week.
Alrighty, and we're going to clean up this show, which seemed to go a little bit better than last week's, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're going to clean it all up in our cleanup segment. That's next.
Clean up on aisle 4.
Clean up on aisle 3.
But we're going to need a cleanup on aisle 3.
Clean up on aisle 3. I got it.
Testosterone spill on aisle 4.
Clean up in all the aisles.
Well, as you said before the break, we were all over last week, so I hope we kept it together this week a bit better. First off, I want to talk about Colin Doyle. Some of you might not know him. You should know him. Toronto Rock, a fantastic organization, the National Lacrosse League, which doesn't get enough love around here, I don't think. I mean, if you ever get the chance to go down to a game, if you get a chance, go down to this Saturday's game. They are retiring Colin Doyle, a legendary Rock player. His number 7's going up into the rafters. Well deserved.
Good for him.
This guy shouldered the load for this. I mean, I can't even remember how many championships this guy brought home to the city of Toronto.
Yeah, they seem to win almost every year when Colin Doyle was on that team. And didn't he play some local lacrosse here as well in the summer times with Six Nations?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
yes,
so I mean,
he still runs a school, a lacrosse school in Oakville, actually.
There you go.
Yeah, he played lacrosse with was it Shanahan? Yeah,
really?
I believe so.
That's
I believe
interesting.
It was Shanahan. Yeah, he just retired this November. So
yeah, he's a Rock legend, and congrats to him on a long career and a lot of championships.
Yeah, there is quite the crossover there between hockey and lacrosse, and by all accounts, John Tavares as well played.
Oh, in the off seasons, they love to play the hockey players
right?
lacrosse. So yep.
Another legend for you, Vince Young.
Yep, former Eagles and Titans quarterback. I think he was a number 1 pick. Yeah, and I think he was also in our Heatley Watch.
He was in our Heatley Watch.
He is now signed with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. This is made official today, so it looks like he's going to be quarterbacking
Kevin Glenn.
Challenging in Glenn. I mean, Glenn's an older guy. Vince Young now, I guess, is an older guy too.
Yeah.
But maybe Vince Young's game is geared more towards the CFL. So we'll see.
Well, I hope his body is geared a little better.
Yeah.
I mean, the last picture we saw of him was not too flattering.
So that's Vince Young.
Yeah, Vince Young to the Rough Riders. The Argos have not made much of a splash yet.
Not since they've got their new coach or GM.
But I mean, we're still waiting for word to come down that Manziel's signed.
Well, yeah, that would be really interesting too if that happens. But yeah, when's the CFL draft? Or has that already happened?
I don't know.
That would be interesting to see where the Argos end up picking in that too, because they were not one of the better teams last year.
Yeah, maybe you can research that next week.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. We'll have a couple things that we'll come back with on next week's show.
Absolutely. And speaking of the CFL and the Argos and BMO Field, your favorite sport, soccer.
Oh yeah, TFC. They got their season underway last weekend with a very exciting 0-0 draw against Real Salt Lake in Real. So it was a really tough place to play, anyways. So
titillating.
Coming out with a point from Real Salt Lake is pretty good for them. And other Canadian action, the Whitecaps, they started their season with a tie, 0-0, and Montreal lost 1-0 to San Jose. So in 3 games, we got 1 goal. Not exactly the most exciting soccer so far to start the year.
Any penalties?
The goals will come. Giovinco did miss a penalty shot, actually.
Did he?
He got stopped in Real Salt Lake.
Well, did the other team get a shot on net?
I'm not sure.
There you go.
So that's our TFC update for this week. And we're going to continue into another soccer note. Barcelona, some history was made today in Champions League. They, in their aggregate against PSG, they were down, I believe it was 4-1 after the first game. So they had to come back and win. And they were only up 3-1. In the 88th minute, they scored 3 goals between the 88th and the 5th or 4th minute to win it 6-1 and win the aggregate 6-5. So it was the biggest comeback in Champions League history for Barcelona. Sorry, PSG. All you had to do was run the clock out, and you couldn't even do it.
Couldn't even do it. Speaking of not being able to do it, let's move on to golf. And if you want to know where I'm going with that segue, I went to Tiger Woods, and then I went to Mike Weir, who beat Tiger Woods in the President's Cup.
That was the worst segue I've ever heard.
Thank you. Mike Weir, legendary Canadian golfer, going to be assistant captain for the Worlds for the President's Cup this year. I love it. I love Mike Weir.
Yeah, I love Mike Weir as well, and I love his wine. So there you go.
Mike Weir from Windsor there, and my segue is down into Ontario.
Glenn Howard?
The Briar, Glenn Howard, just 2-5. Unfortunate right now. I mean, we love Glenn Howard.
We do love Glenn Howard.
We interviewed him.
Yeah, we did way back in the day. But yeah, Glenn Howard, he can turn it around. But I mean, it looks like this might not be his tournament this year. Manitoba is
dominating. They are in the lead. They're 6-1 right now. They've got the rest of the week to see who kind of wins it, and we'll have the winner for you guys next week.
Yeah, Glenn Howard's going to really have to win a few games here and still have a tough first round matchup there. So we'll see if he can even get into the playoff knockout rounds there. Good strong curling talk.
Good strong curling talk.
And that's going to do it for Sports Chatter this week. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter, B_backs_ for myself.
At PGR10, 10 the word, not the number.
And give us a subscribe on YouTube. We would love to see your guys' comments on our videos. We think we did all right this week. Do you think we did all right?
A lot better than last week.
Talk to you again next week. This has been Sports Chatter.
I thought he was okay. Just okay.
It's not good, eh?
Terrible.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.